Okay. Wait, you know what? I should put up a display capture. Or wait, no. Image. It's infinite. Screen cover. Desktop. You. Yosh. Boop. And then we want to put on some music. Everybody hang tight. Please remember that I am on my laptop. Because my PC is still in the shop, unfortunately. So let's do one song to give people a minute to get in here. Oh, Turin's streaming. Well, fuck Turin. Warhammer. Oh, wait, no. Total War. Warhammer. Alright. We're going to let this music play out while we give people a minute to get in here. Yes, we will be reading the Steam page. Yes, we will be reading the FAQ. We're going to be doing a full fucking analysis. And as soon as we finish this live stream, I'm going to turn it off so that I can upload it as a video. And then after that, we're probably going to paint. For anyone that's curious about my PC, I did go to the workshop today and I shelled out about 320 bucks, or sorry, 250 bucks, for new parts, and they installed all the new parts and it's still broken. So they're taking another look at it. between now and tomorrow, and it's either going to be the... I have a bad feeling it's going to end up being the motherboard is the problem. So, we will, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, but they're going to take a look at it tonight and tomorrow, and call me when they have an understanding of what the issue is. Don't worry, the video's not stuck. The video is not stuck. It's just, I have up a screen blocker. I have up a screen blocker. Nobody panic. Why me and Turin gotta stream at the same... Turin's been streaming forever. Only 480p. Well, this isn't the video. This is just a screen blocker. So don't freak out on me. Speaking of which, I'm gonna go ahead and fix video on the live stream so that it's at 1080. I am on my laptop, so it's gonna be pretty low quality probably compared to normal. Y'all just have to deal. All right, we've got a pretty good crowd in here. Let's do some hellos, and then we'll get into it. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn the sound on. And I'm gonna move the screen blocker so y'all can see me in infinite versions and the screen. And we're gonna do some hellos, and we'll hop into it. So we've got hello to Virtuian1, Inquisitor Thomas, Adam Beelan, that turtle guy, Leon, Daedric Giant, Jawalalu, we got Kennabol, we got Ethan Gates. What do you think of a Beast Lord Rakarth versus Throughout the Unclean? That could be fun. Raptor Man, Orc Warboss, Dakamore, Chris, good to see you. Scion, happy to see you, man. Always happy when I see people with a green name. Traditional Butt, let's see, we got Pop Burnsy, Ungrim Iron Fist, Scrappy Bristol, Singular Leaf, Mad Wookie, Curse Fanatic, thanks man. Curse Fanatic, once again, massive thank you to the huge donation yesterday. I'm sad to say that didn't fix the problem, but without your help, we couldn't have known. Orc Warboss, Cyber Chimera, Wander Alpha, Queekhead Taker, Fox and Sun, Lord Winch, good to see you, man. Renegade, Shadow Shroom, Jag D Type, Sias, there's Glock B, Victor Saltspire, The Beat H7, Jason Dean, Patton 631, Jag D Type 52. Chloe is downstairs sleeping. She is super tired. She had a busy day and she was outside a lot and it's hot. Fewer, good to see you. One of the mods is here, thank God. Character Thalon, Zulu, Renier, Jackson Hughes. Alright. Let's get started. Alright, I'm not going to be able to see chat during this part because normally I have multiple screens, but in this case I only have one, which is my laptop. So y'all can see my face. I'm going to triple check to make sure y'all can see my face. The last time we did this, you couldn't. Okay, yeah, we're good. Y'all can see me, right? We back up and running? We're kind of back up and running. Okay. Alright, here we go, guys. I haven't seen this. I haven't watched it. I know it's Nakai and Wolfheart. I figured that out yesterday. Not Nakai necessarily, but I had some strong suspicions. So, but I don't know much of the other junk. So, without further ado, let's do this. Is that a Dread Saurian in a... Oh my god! Look at the size of that thing! Oh lord, that roar... Is that a war wagon?
So long. Have a little faith.
Oh shit. Is this a Jurassic Park reference? Oh, Razordons! What are those? That's a blue steam tank? Oh, Big Daddy! Oh, that was super short! Oh, that was super short! That was way shorter than the previous Lord packs, or trailers. Ah! Okay, let's go into chat here for a minute. That looks super good. Yeah, that I'm pretty sure that's a Jurassic Park reference from when the T-Rex is chasing the Jeep. It's super funny. Look at all these freaking videos from everybody. Jesus, we're all shills. we're all shameless shills. Okay, super duper good trailer. Very short. So okay, let's go through this and see if I can get everything before we look at what all is in the trailer. So we got War Wagons. So War Wagons, I'll wax Weiracle about that in a second. So we got War Wagons, we got the Dread Saurian. Fucking Dread Saurian, man. I love that skink. He's just like, what the fuck? I feel like I'm gonna need that as a new, when we get the PC back, I feel like that's gonna be our new donation thing, is this scene right here. I feel like that has to be the new donation, or something like that. That's really funny. So, you can see the Razordons in the background. Obviously, there's Nakai. Oh my god, that roar!
What's taking them so long?
Okay, so we've got Marcus Wolfhard here with the amber bow. We've got this dude here with antlers on his back and feathers in his helmet. So I'm guessing that's probably the huntsman.
Have a little faith.
Because you gotta have huntsman with the hunts marshal. Or no, there's two different guys. There's guys in... Look, if you see, there's guys in the back that are wearing furs. I think those are huntsmen. Because these guys are wearing state troop colors. These guys right here, they're wearing state troop uniforms. So I think those are archers. And then the guys in the back over here with the furs and the caps, I think those are maybe huntsmen. I don't know what these guys are. Maybe these are ancient Croxagors? Because they're definitely a new type of Croxagor. So I'm thinking maybe they're ancient Croxagors, like the unit champion. Whoa, wait, is that... Whoa, that's a Hellblaster on a wagon. Whoa, okay, that's new. Ah, that actually might make might make War Wagons really interesting. And they got war machines. Okay. Who is this? Oh, you know what? I bet that's a new Lord type or a hero. Ah, I really hope it's a hero. And then there's the Kai, who looks amazing. Man, super cool trailer. You know what it is about this trailer that's so different? Let's check in on chat here. I think what's so different from this trailer to the old ones is that in the prior trailers, they usually would introduce the units and then they'd have like a fight scene. And it looks like in this one they didn't bother with a fight scene. They just have the lead up that shows off all the new stuff. All right, let's let's do this. Let me get a pop out chat. That way I can see you guys. Boop. And then I'll put this. Okay, come here. Over here. Nope. Nope. Come here. Oh my god. Come. Stop it. Come over here. Yeah, there you go. And then chat, you go over here. There we go. Alright, now I can see you guys. So let's start going over some information here and see what we've got here from Ella McConnell for the CA FAQ. So, first of all, this is incredibly good news, guys, because this is now we've got a Game 1 versus Game 2 DLC. Which I imagine they're gonna take care of this when we talk about it, but I'm really curious if that means we're gonna be dealing with a situation of like how they're gonna handle that, of like you're buying a Game 1 race if you don't own Game 1, how that's gonna work. Because I imagine this won't have any impact on Warhammer 1. This is purely for Warhammer 2. But I'm sure they'll answer that. We'll worry about positing questions when we get to the end. So, let's get into it. Hunter and the Beast, yada, yada, yada. Alright, Hunter and the Beast. Cool name. 2 richly themed new legendary lords. Marcus Wolfheart leads the Hunts Marshals Expedition. Awesome. And Nakai the Wanderer opposes him as leader of the Spirit of the Jungle. Awesome. That is one of his titles. 2 new lord types. Hunter Generals and Ancient Kroxigor. I don't like that. I'll come back to that. That might turn into a rant. We'll come back to that. 4 new unique hero units for Empire. Okay. What? Wolfheart's Hunters. Okay, I bet they're probably like the ghosts then for the Belagars faction. They're probably like 4 actual people. New unique faction mechanics. Okay, yeah. New units. Empire Archers, Huntsmen, and War Wagons. And then Lizardmen, Dreadsaurians, Sacred Kroxigors, and Razordon hunting packs. Interesting. So, Dreadsaurian and Sacred Kroxigor instead of the Troglodon, and War Wagons instead of the Celestial Hurricanum. Really interesting. Alright, we'll come back to that. I have a lot of thoughts on that. New Regiments of Renown. Awesome. Full details. Head over to Steam. Okay, I'm gonna say this now, guys. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna be shameless. Prepare your butts. The stream just freeze? No, okay. Genuinely prepare yourselves. I'm about to be really sad. Oh, Steam just opened on this thing. Yikes. Alright. So, there's a website company that I have a partnership with that always gives massive discounts on new Total War titles. So, like DLCs, actual games, and Lord Packs. I'm gonna talk to them tonight so I can get a deal. Normally it's like 20 to 27%. So don't pre-order the game on Steam if you want to save more money. So that's, and you'll save more money. I'll make a little money. There you go. If you want to support the channel, don't buy it on Steam. All right. If you don't care, that's totally cool. Go for that. Will the new legendary lords be fighting for control of the Vortex? No, they don't. Awesome. I really like that. I think that's what should be the norm. Yeah, of course. New units, yada, yada, yada. What mechanics will Marcus Wolfheart bring to the Hunter and the Beast? So, Wolfheart has Wolfheart's Hunters. Scattered throughout Lustria are four of the finest hunters that ever lived. Wolfheart may attempt to track them down. Yorick Grimm is a... Ooh, Yorick Grimm. One sec, guys. One sec. Let me grab a book off my library shelf. I think these may be actual characters from the lore. Gorok is coming out as the free LC. Spoilers! That's awesome. I'm very, very excited. One second. I think I recognize that name. Yorick Grimm. Yorick Grimm. He's the guy that made the Goblin Hewer? No. That's Malachi Mackinson. I think. Pretty sure. Where is it? Oh, no, that's not. Oh, that's who they should have used. Oh, wait, no, he's probably dead by now. Okay, no, that's a different character. Thought it was someone I recognized. There is a dwarf engineer from You know what? I wonder if he's a reference to him. There's a dwarf engineer character who Steam has a lot more info and pictures. No. The go to the Steam page. Alright, calm down. Jeez. I'm looking up Steam on my phone because Steam on the thing is kind of bitchy. And I don't want to, Why do I have an invite? No. Store. Catalog. The Hunter... it's only $8? Damn, that's a cheap DLC. Alright, we got pictures. We'll go over the pictures later. I need info. Here we go. Alright, so we see... Let's get fearless, charismatic, daring. These are but a few of the epithets to spark. Okay, Marcus Wolfheart. Okay. Nakai, the Wanderer, revered Cruxor, the first spawning. Wandering the jungles of Lustria since the destruction of Talongsla during the Great Catastrophe. Okay. Okay, this has a ton more details. Alright, hold on. I'll get it up on this so y'all can see it. Steam. Nope. Nope. I can't. I'm struggling, chat. I'm struggling. Alright, we'll check out the Steam page in a little bit. Spartacus called the team Vermintide comes to Total War. Well, they're not the Vermintide characters. Okay, good. It doesn't show you all my password. That would have been kind of rough. Oh my god. Which password is it? W7TRB. Boop. No, computer is not fixed. I went to check on it today. It's still super busted. And they're taking another day to look at it. Alright, we're going to finish checking out this page first, then we'll go over to the other thing. Supposed to be a reference to the Vermintide team? I don't think so. Let's see. Jork Grimm, brilliant master engineer, shunned for his eccentric ideas. He struck out alone to seek his fortune in Lustria. Roderick Lianguel was once a... Hey, I know who that is. Was once a renowned paladin, disgraced and exiled. However, he is haunted by past he can't escape. Hertwig Van Hal, skilled physician and witch hunter, and he's a member of the Van Hal family, apparently. Has traveled far from his home on his quest for vengeance, for ultimate vengeance. And Kalara of Woodrioth, the eminent... Oh, a female waystalker. Cool. has traded the force of Avaloran for the jungles of Livestream in pursuit of redemption. That's fun. Okay, so let's go to Steam. Store. Those characters are not Vermintide related. I mean, one of them's not even remotely close. The Hunter. There we go. Let's take a look. Everybody wants me to look at the Steam shit, so let's do that first. So looking at the pictures, here we've got Nakai, and those must be the Sacred Croxagors, which were not a thing, but they are now. So we've got Sacred Croxagors in the background wearing gauntlets, I guess, to beat people to death with. We got Marcus Wolfhard here, close up with the Razor Dawns. That Amber Bow looks sexy. Oh, there they are. So we got a Witch Hunter, a two-handed Paladin. He doesn't have a shield, right? So he's wielding a great weapon? That's unique, if that's the case. Doesn't have a horse, though. Kalara and Yorick Grimm. I don't think those are the Vermintide dudes. Like, it might be a reference to them, but it's a pretty weak reference, if that's the case. Oh, look at the colors on that Dread Saurian. Holy shit. I wonder if that's a Regiment of Renown, because normally the big dinosaurs don't have different color schemes. They have one color scheme. You have to get a mod if you want them to look different. They aren't. It's a reference. Y'all, I'm very dubious. I am super dubious of that. I think I can see where y'all are coming from. I'm dubious. All right. Let's see. Hunter and the Beast. Right. Okay. Yada yada. Unique stuff. Yada yada yada. Devastating ranged units. Mobile gunpowder batteries and fabled hunter heroes for the Hunts Martial Expedition. Because the thing is that the characters they picked are like explicit characters from some of the Lustria storylines. If that's I'm just gonna say, if that's an homage, super weak homage. That's all I'm gonna say. We'll keep an eye on that. Fearless, charismatic, daring. Oh, okay, so Marcus Wolfhart. So Marcus Wolfhart is, of course, the Hunts Marshal of the Empire. Marcus Wolfhart was a guy who grew up in the Northern Empire. I think he grew up in... oh, gosh. I'm trying to remember. Fudge. Hawkland. He grew up in Hawkland. He was a boy, and he was raised in a village where a monster showed up and killed all of his monsters. Or killed all of the people in his village. Like, it killed his whole family. It killed everybody. Or was it Drakewald? He might have grown up at the Drakewald. So it killed a ton of people. It, like, killed his village and his family and a bunch of stuff. And he ran after... he ended up dedicating his life to killing monsters. And he killed a ton of monsters. Marcus Wolfhart killed... I know he killed a... I think it was a Doomfire dragon. But he killed a super deadly dragon called Malathrax. He also has killed a basilisk. He's killed a bunch of stuff. And so he murdered a ton of monsters. And somewhere along the line, after he killed a really famous monster, it was basically, he slew a beast and it was very much in the attention of Karl Franz. And that's when he got offered a position to in like Karl Franz's court, essentially, but he refused it. Marcus Wolfhart did not want the life of a statesman. He wanted to keep hunting monsters. So after he kind of refused, Franz negotiated with him to become the Hunts Marshal instead, because he wanted a life of pursuing and killing monsters so that they wouldn't hurt people anymore. And Wolfhart, of course, is a pretty big badass. Wolfhart was the one who killed Tarx the Brass Bull during the fall of Altdorf. Tarx the Brass Bull was running around the outside of Altdorf just like maiming people. And Tarx is a bull who's covered in brass armor that's so strong that it's impossible to penetrate. But impossible, quote unquote. But he had a weak spot right here at the base of his throat, where Khorne, because of an insult he dealt to Khorne, it left him a vulnerability that was the size of an arrowhead. And so during the fall of Altdorf, while Tarx is running around just butchering people towards the gates, Wolfhart stands up amongst the Empire, draws his bow back, and shoots a single shot, and it hits Tarx right in his weak spot and killed him instantly. Which was one of my favorite parts of the battle, because Tarx was just rampaging across the battlefield until Wolfhart took him down with a single shot, which was awesome. Very convenient vulnerability. Well, I mean, yeah, but in the defense of the situation, basically a demonic herald went to Tarx and was like, "You're awesome!" And Tarx's response was to bite its head off. Which was considered a severe insult. So they left him a convenient weak spot on purpose. And then we've got Nakai! Ugh, yes! So we got The Jungle Does Not Sleep. Nakai the Wanderer, revered Kroxigor, the first spawning, is a living legend among the Lizardmen, wandering the jungles of Lustria since the destruction of his home city of Talongsala during the Great Catastrophe. He follows what the Great Plan wills him. Now Lustria is under threat from usurpers once more. Nakai will rally the sacred Kroxigors, rouse the Dreadsaurians from their ageless slumber. The old ones demand it. So, of course, Nakai is a big deal character. He is the first spawning of all Kroxigor. He may be the very first Kroxigor that ever lived, and he is ancient and super powerful. Nakai is so long-lived and so strong that basically the Lizardmen don't really consider him as a Kroxigor anymore. They consider him to be like a pseudo-god or like a spirit of the forest. He's basically the Green Knight for the Lizardmen. So where the Green Knight is like a super powerful and skilled ethereal knight who defends the lands of Bretonnia, Nakai is kind of seen as a super spooky guy who is the spirit of the jungle. But Nakai it's good to see they got his size. Like, he's huge. Is he older than Mazdamundi? No, Mazdamundi is older than Nakai is. You have to remember the Lizardmen were spawned in a certain order. So first the Slann were created, then the Saurus were made, then the Skinks were made, then the Kroxigors were made. The avatar of Quetzal, he's not necessarily Quetzal's avatar, but he wields Quetzal's sacred blade, which is pretty crazy looking in the trailer. See if we can find a picture of it real quick. But Nakai is a badass. Nakai has participated in almost every war the Lizardmen have ever fought. Look at that thing! So I guess that's supposed to be the sacred blade of Quetzal. It looks amazing. But he is, of course, one of probably the most famous Lizardman characters, which is really funny because he was never actually playable in the game. Like, there was a White Dwarf, White Dwarf edition that came out that gave him some rules you could take. But, yeah, he's also a bit like Grombrindal, yeah. But Nakai has participated in every major war the Lizardmen have ever fought. His most famous story, which just as like a fun fact, is during the War of the Serpent and the Rat, which was when Clan Pestilence came into existence and started swarming over Lustria. I need some music, chat. 1 second. Let me go back to where I was. Just give me some Lizardman music. Got some weird shit recommended from YouTube. Music. Turn that down a little bit. There we go. A little more. I just need something to listen to while I'm talking. Alright, so yeah, the Sacred Blade of Quetzal is... It looks like they took a little bit of weird interpretation to make it, but it looks really cool. Alright, so... what was I talking about? Oh, yeah. So, the most famous battle with Nakai was that during the war between Clan Pestilence and the Lizardmen, Nakai went to battle alongside Tenenhuan, the Prophet of Sotek, and their armies. And there was a massive battle where Clan Pestilence, kind of in desperation, unleashed their greatest weapon, their greatest creation. Which, what Clan Pestilence did is, originally Clan Pestilence was like normal Skaven clan, so they had like members of all the different Skaven clans. And the survivors of Clan Pestilence who remembered how to breed monsters created a rat ogre. But it wasn't just any rat ogre. This thing was called the Beast of Pestilence. And it was this huge rat ogre that was just oozing with decay and disease. Like, it had all these giant boils and pustules over its body. And its muscles were so swollen due to its size and what they had done to it, that its muscles were ripping out of its own flesh because of how big it was. And to the Lizardmen, it was unstoppable. Like, just getting near it would cause you to sicken and die. And so what happened was Nakai showed up on the eve of this battle where Clan Pestilence brought the beast, and the two of them immediately went at each other as soon as the fight started, and it was basically a clash of titans. And so they just started beating the shit out of each other. Like, it was this insane battle of monsters, and it lasted for, I think it lasted for a few days. I posted some pictures in the Total War... Okay, I'll check that out later. But they had this epic battle that lasted for days, and at the end of it, Nakai finally struck down the Beast of Pestilence. But the Beast of Pestilence is so disgusting that when Nakai managed to basically bring his blade across its chest and cut it in half, it exploded in like this disgusting bile. Like this noxious contagion got unleashed and hit Nakai, and Nakai actually went down. And the Lizardman thought he was going to die. So all the skink priests took Nakai back to one of the temple cities, and they nursed him back to health and basically protected him. And I think over the course of a week, he regained his senses, and as soon as he caught awake, he just stood back up and marched back off to battle. But he is a... Nakai is a very intelligent, scary guy. He's not intelligent in the sense that, like, I would say Throg is intelligent. Like, Nakai doesn't know how to write. Nakai doesn't know... He's not eloquent. He doesn't talk very much. But the thing about Nakai is he has, like, a very... He has a very, like, natural... He's very clever. And he has, like, a very natural sense of where he needs to be. He's kind of, like, guided by a supernatural force to being where he needs to be. So I'm very, very excited to see him in. Let's keep going on the Steam page. Alright, so we got... so let's take a look at Marcus Wolfhardt's unique abilities. So he's got the Emperor's Mandate. As Marcus Wolfhard expands Imperial interest in Lustria, his stature in the eyes of the Emperor grows. As a result, he receives a broadening range of increasingly advanced units to aid in his expedition. As new territory is captured, his building options also diversify. In the Eye of the Vortex campaign, Marcus will ultimately face the Spirit of the Jungle himself, Nakai the Wanderer, to decide who holds dominion over the jungles of Lustria. Okay, that's really cool. So Wolfhardt's campaign progress is measured by how effectively he fulfills the Emperor's mandate. Expansion, successful military operations, and other campaign activities increase his acclaim, which is tracked on the Emperor's Mandate bar. The Emperor's Mandate also dictates the quality of units available to Wolfhardt via the Imperial supply system, which dispatches better units for him to recruit from time to time. As the Mandate bar fills, he will unlock bonuses to further improve these units, plus new recruitment abilities. Oh, okay, that's pretty cool. So essentially what it seems to be is that, am I disappointed for not getting the Troglodyte? A little bit, but honestly, I'm more excited about the Dread Saurian and the Razordons. I don't think we're not going to see the Troglodyte. I just think for whatever reason, we're not seeing it yet. Like, maybe it's a free LC for the future, or maybe there's another wave of DLCs somewhere down the line. You know, I am pretty suspect we'll see the Troglodyte eventually. Because, I mean, they put the Dread Saurian and the War Wagon in the game. Which, I mean, the Dread Saurian doesn't catch me crazily. It catches me a little bit by surprise, but not, like, insanely by surprise. Because the thing about the Dread Saurian is that it's from, oh, here. I can actually show you all the book. The Dread Saurian, along with much of the Vampire Coast stuff, was not a part of core Warhammer Fantasy. It was released as a part of this book. So this is called the Monstrous Arcanum, and it's very, very expensive. And it's a collector's item now. But this was a super duper famous book that has like a bunch of really crazy legendary monsters in it, many of which we still haven't seen in the game yet. But like there's the Necrofex Colossus. The rest of these I don't think are in the game yet, but I'm suspecting they're gonna be in the game eventually. You have like Colossal Squigs, a bunch of Chaos Dwarf stuff, Toad Dragons, Bile Trolls, more Chaos Dwarf stuff. Where's the thing I'm looking for? Where's my Dread Saurian? Where's my Dread Saurian? There he is. So this is the this is the Dread Saurian page. He's a little more armored in the artwork than the one in the trailer, but the one in the trailer looks like it is a carbon copy of the model. How expensive do you think that one-man army with a price tag to match Dread Saurian will be? I would be very surprised if the Dread Saurian did not have an upkeep of like 500 plus gold a turn. Alright, so, anyway. So, I'm actually very interested to see these. So, it looks like the Emperor's Mandate mechanic here is really interesting because it seems like the DLC will give you access to all the Empire units, but it also seems like what it's really going to do is when you're playing the campaign, at least for Wolfheart, you only get access to like the absolute bottom tier units, and then as the game progresses and you work harder and achieve more stuff, you unlock more and more and more units. And it looks like they're gonna... It could be you don't even unlock the ability to recruit certain units. It looks like you get those units sent to you as part of the Emperor's Mandate, which I really like that. To me, that seems like a really good way to give the player the feeling of, like, being a true expedition. You use copy of the Monstrous Arcanum on Amazon for $375. Woo! That's pretty expensive. Woo! Yeah, I think recruitment-wise, the Dread Saurian will probably be like 3,000 or 4,000 gold. Alright. So, what's this? Hostility. The lands beyond the Empire are inimical to man, and Wolfheart's actions will not go unnoticed. While defending the local inhabitants improves Wolfheart's imperial standing and increases his supply of fresh troop, it also enrages Lustria's native denizens. Okay, so Wolfheart's going to be in Lustria, it sounds like, for his campaign, which is super cool. Finally, Empire can be somewhere else. Wolfheart's hostility rating reflects the current level of Lustria's retaliation against his military activities. Aggressive activities such as military actions and raiding can raise hostility through 5 levels. A more passive approach will cause hostility to decrease. Okay, so it goes up and down. Each increased level has a negative effect on the campaign, but also a measure of his aggression against the Lizardmen. As you ascend, okay, so the more aggressive you are, the more often you get reinforcements, and their strength will be higher depending on the Emperor's mandate bar. However, when you reach peak hostility, the Lizardmen will be dispatched with the aim of defeating you. Oh, okay. Oh, that's super cool. So instead of it being like the Vortex campaign, where you kind of like, you hit like an annoying, you know, you do a Vortex and a bunch of stupid Warrior of Chaos armies spawn and attack you. It sounds like what this is going to be instead is there's a meter that you can control. So it'll go up if you're aggressive, down if you kind of wait a little bit. And if you max it out, the Lizardmen will launch a full invasion. That's super cool. Didn't the Dread Saurians eat all the dragons in Lustria? Yes. The Dread Saurians played a role in the extinction of the dragons in Lustria. The Carnosaurs also participated. How many old gods are there anyway? A lot. The old ones? There are... I think if I had a gun to my head, I could probably give you about 15 to 20 different old ones. But let's keep moving. Wolfheart's hunters. Scattered throughout Lustria are for the finest hunters that ever lived. Wolfheart may attempt to track them down and acquire their services to aid in the expedition's success and subsequently develop each hunter's unique abilities and learning the tales of... Oh, it's like an RPG! Dude, it's like an RPG! So you track... Okay, so you can track down a hunter, recruit them, develop them to get unique abilities, and by unlocking their abilities, you unlock their storyline? I really like that. That's like an RPG mechanic. That is super cool. You can search for the 4 hunters in the jungle of Lustria by completing special missions. Each hunter have bespoke stories which are uncovered through unique missions. Completing them gives you new traits and powerful abilities. That is hot. They are not required to complete his narrative campaign, but oh, okay, so they're optional too. Well, that's nice. So if they're like a huge pain in the ass, you could just skip it. Okay, so Yorick Grimm is a master engineer who got kicked out to Lustria, who I think I know who that's inspired by. Roderick Langwell we'll talk about in a moment. Kalara of Widrioth came from the forests of Avalorn to Lustria in pursuit of redemption. That brings 2 characters to mind, but I'm pretty sure... Wait! She left the forests of Avalorn? As in Ulthuan? Shame on you, CA! 0 out of 10! 0 out of 10! How dare you? How dare you? That's supposed to say Athelloren, not Avalorn. 0 out of 10. Not lore accurate. Alright, so... where's my Wood Elf book? 1 second. I want to see if I can... There we go. Come here. Come here. You come here as well. You come here as well. Alright. Let's do some research real quick. Let's see if I can remember who all these people are. Do they not have Forest and Avalorn? Well, they do, but not Wood Elves. Alright, so she's from Widrioth. Page 55 of what? Wiki says Jorek Grimm is from 8th edition Dwarf book. That sounds familiar. See, more than likely he's in the timeline. Let's see. Yada, 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 yada. Grom the Paunch. Okay, no, he has to have been born after that. Dread Saurian must have cost at least 3 Charlemagnes, right? Yorick Grimm. I know that name. Yorick Grimm. Yorick Grimm. Engineers Guild. No. Oh, Yorick's from Barak Var. So, I wonder if he's from the Cragbow clan. No, that's Zufbar. Which one of these is from Barak Var? Is it Helheim? Nope, that's Mountains of Morn. Bronzebeard, no. Oleg, no. Yorick was kicked out for his love of steam machines. Does anybody have a page? Ah, Grimm the Great! Yeah, he is the Cragbow clan. I knew it! Master Engineer Yorick Grimm of the Cragbow clan was responsible for many of the ironclad ships. It was doubtful that he lived to see more than a few. Yep, he was expelled for unorthodox, groundbreaking work and forced... Oh, he went through the trouser leg ritual. Alright, so that's one. That's one. So we've got a dwarf character, dwarf engineer from Barak Var who was expelled for not following the tenets. I know where Leanne Guel's from, and I think I recognize the Wood Elf. Let's see, she's from Woodrioth. Kalara of Woodrioth. I wonder... It says she's trying to avenge a crime. I wonder if she is the lady who saw something, or she was. There was a woman who told a legend. She was told a secret. Grudge of Ages. No. Rockjaw's Feast, Doomstar's Revenge, Coadil, Dwarven Treachery, Turn of the Seasons, Madness of Orion, Battle on the Blackwood. Wasn't that one of the Ubersreich 5? No. Ubersreich, the Ubersreich 5 are, the Wood Elf is, it's not Kalara. It's, her name's throwing me off, but no. What are rogue idols? They're really, really big, orc statues. The statues that orcs made. A Dream of Doom. Night the Prophetess. Drycha's Onslaught. Horus from the Vault is about Dawn Spear. Defense of Urvesi. Aerial Returns, Fate of the Spirit. I will find this. Tale of Atherin on page 55. Ah! I knew it! Kalara, yep. Ah, her story is super sad in the end times. Kalara's story ends... Oh, man. Kalara has a very sad ending to her story. Alright, so Kalara's deal is that Kalara fell in love with a Wild Rider. And the thing about the Wild Riders is that they know the secret to Orion's rebirth every year, because every year Orion dies and comes back to life. Yeah, Carillion. Carillion is from that. So the thing about Kalara was that when she fell deeply in love with a wild rider named Atherin of the Red Horn, he, to impress her, told her the secret that he had sworn on his life he wouldn't tell. And so she was banished from... they were both very punished. So, he was struck down and transformed into a monster, quote-unquote. And, Kalara, to appease Kurnos for this betrayal, Kalara basically rode out to hunt monsters and slay a creature that would impress Kurnos enough that he would basically she basically went on a really big hunt to appease Kurnos so that he would return her lover back to normal, and she and her lover could be back together again. But unfortunately for Kalara, the way her story canonically ends is that she ends up tracking a stag, like a really big great stag, and Kalara she kills the great stag by shooting it in the head, and when she gets to the stag's body as an offering to Kurnos, she finds the body of her lover, because what happened was that Kurnos turned her lover into the stag, and she basically got played by the elven gods into killing her own lover, since he betrayed his oath not to tell her the secret. So they both got punished. And after that, she was super brokenhearted and just kind of wandered. So it seems that after she murders her lover, she has gone to Lustria to hunt monsters there. Really curious what her overall story will be. She shows up in the end times as well to get punished even more. In the end times, she joins up with Erloth and goes to the realm of chaos, and she ends up being eternally punished. Because she gets she doesn't get forced, but she chooses, kind of forced. She takes the place of Shalya, who had been captured by Nurgle. So Kalara gets tormented for all eternity as the person that Nurgle tries out his diseases on. She's kept in a cage, and Nurgle force feeds her various diseases to see what effect it has, and if he's pleased by it, he then unleashes it on the world. So even in Age of Sigmar, by that logic, Kalara is still being punished to this day. Sad story, yo. And then Van Hal, Hertwig Van Hal is of course a descendant of the Van Hal family. They're all related to the evil necromancer Van Hal, or Van Hel, I guess is what he kind of changed his name to. And Van Hal was this really powerful, horrible necromancer, but because during the Black Plagues, and what happened essentially to him was that he hit a point where... Can I hit this? Oh yeah, I can. What happened during that whole shenanigan was that when Van Hal died, his family, which were traditionally very devout priests, like Van Hal himself was the original Van Hal that we know was he was a priest of Mor who turned his back on his god and religion and the empire in order to become a necromancer. And Van Hal is made up. He seems to be based on a different character, Hertwig, who was a physician whose love was killed by a vampire. Oh gosh. Do you remember what book that's from, Undertaker? I'm telling you the story of the Van Hal family. But, so Van Hal's... The thing about the Van Hal family, anyone who has the last name Van Hal, is that means they are directly related to the great necromancer Van Hal. And everybody distrusts them for that. So all of the Van Hal family, it is deeply, deeply forced on them to become witch hunters. Because they are basically forced to become witch hunters due to the fact that because one of their long ancestors ended up being one of the greatest evils the world has ever seen, they are all forced to become witch hunters to basically prove their piety. And they hunt necromancers and revenge for ruining their lives, essentially. If you're born as a Van Hal, you're pretty much effed. Like, you have to become a witch hunter, or nobody wants anything to do with you. Hertwig Van Hal doesn't ring a name, but Undertaker, if you're right, if he's a physician whose love was killed by a vampire, and he's also a Van Hal, then that's a double whammy. That is an ugly double whammy. How powerful was Van Hel? Van Hel was one of, you know, Van Hel's, do you know Van Hel's Dance Macabre? As in the spell from the lore of vampires in Total War. Like, go to the lore of vampires in Total War Warhammer. Look at the second spell you get on the rotating thing, and it's Van Hel's Dance Macabre. That's Van Hel. He was so freaking strong that he has a spell named after him. He was one of the greatest necromancers to ever live. The only necromancers on his level are like Dieter Hellschnitt, he's really strong. I'll just put it that way. He was so powerful that using his own version of the Black Pyramid that he built, he was able to essentially resurrect an entire army of zombie dragons. Kimmler, yeah, sorry, Kimmler. So like Kimmler, Dieter Hellschnitt, and Van Hal are like the big three. If you ever want to know like who are the best necromancers. All right, and then the last character is Roderick Lianguel, who you can actually play his scenario in this book. Let me pull it up. Where is it? Where is it? Is it in the back? No, it's in the very front. Here we go. The Folly of Prince Roderick. And the Bretonnian noble Duke Tudal of Lianguel. Basically, Roderick Lianguel was a super unfortunate member of the court of... what court was he from? He was from... He's from Anguille. He was the bastard son of the Duke of Anguille. And, yeah, Prince Duke Tudal of Anguille was his father, the Duke of Anguille, and he basically banished Prince Roderick because nobody liked him, so they banished him, or they didn't banish him, but they sent him on a very poorly funded quest to Lustria, and they were like, hey, go earn glory and stuff, and he led an invasion of Amazon Island, which did not go well. And then he tried to attack the Lizerman city of Zlonhapek. And so his father sent him to die, essentially. His father purposefully sent him to get murdered. So he attacked the Lizerman city of Zlonhapek, which, if you know Lizerman lore, you know is the lore of the... It's the temple city of Mists, so it's covered in this deep fog. And when Roderick went in there with his entire Bretonnian and mercenary army, he walked in, and the mist was so thick that they managed to walk into the middle of the Lizerman city, and the Lizermen waited for them. So the Lizermen just waited until the Bretonnians were in the middle of the city. Then they attacked from every direction, and it was a massacre. But Roderick Lianguel survived. He didn't die. He actually managed to survive the battle, though he was like the only survivor, and he suffered from like horrible survivor's guilt. So those are the four hunters. You have Kalara of Widrioth, who is a super depressed waystalker who was tricked into murdering her own lover in repentance for breaking the oath of a god, and is likely in Lustria further seeking redemption in Kurnos' eyes, hunting big monsters. You have Roderick Lianguel, who is the lone survivor of a over-the-top assassination plot to get him murdered, and he attacked the Lizerman city of Zlonhapek and barely survived. He was the only survivor, and he's likely wandering around the jungles as a madman. You have Hertwig Van Hal, who is a descendant of the Van Hal family, which means that he's probably been cursed to hunt the undead and that's all he'll ever live up to. And if he's based on the Hertwig that Undertaker was talking about, then it could very well be that his wife was also murdered by a vampire, which would be double whammy. And then you have Jorek Grimm, who was a very, very skilled dwarf engineer from Byrek Var, who, because he kept trying to invent too many steam engines, even though he created a lot of really awesome ironclads, he was kicked out and exiled from Byrek Var, had to endure the horribly embarrassing trouser leg ritual, and went to Lustria in his exile and seems to be working there. So those are the stories of the 4 cool characters that you'll be able to pick up on. Awesome. I'm glad we were able to put that together. And these will all be made into separate videos once I get my PC back, but... Alright, new units and characters. Marcus Wolfhart, we already talked about him. Let's see what he does in combat. Range combat, powerful armor-piercing bow, which deals bonus damage to large targets. Vanguard deployment, stock, 360 line of fire, and immune to psychology. Awesome. Super awesome. Significant ambush defense and ambush success chance, and has a large upkeep reduction to huntsmen and archers. That's very, very cool. I really like that. So it sounds like he's going to be like a Lithanar, but more specialized to deal with monsters, and probably less good at like melee fighting. But having stock is really powerful. Hunts Marshal General. Oh, excuse me, chat, for a half sec. Hello? Oh, sorry. Alright. One moment. One moment. I have to do something. Alright, let's get back to it. So, we've got the Huntsman General. So this is a Lord type, has Vanguard deployment, stock, 360 fire arc, immune to psych. Immune to psychs are really, really nice. Deals bonus damage to large targets, and they have fire arrows. They synergize well with Bright Wizards, and they grant reload rate bonuses to other Imperial missiles. So, I will say that I like that the Empire character fills a really interesting role. They don't have a traditional like shooting focused Lord. It seems, because traditionally in tabletop you would take just a general and you could spec him out to be like a melee fighter or a cav guy or a monster rider, or you could build them out to have like guns or bows. So it seems like, since we can't customize our characters, it seems like what they've done instead is they've just introduced the general, but they're purely focused on range, which I think is pretty, that's fine. I'm a little disappointed that it's not like a Grandmaster or a Wizard Lord, because those are actual generals from the game that we're missing, but that's not too bad. That at least fills an interesting niche, especially because they have all sorts of fun abilities and stuff. I will say this. I think that... Do I think I'll get my computer back in time for early access? Yes, Ollie. It'll probably be expensive, but trust me, I will move mountains to be ready for early access. So I will say that I'm a little I'm moderately disappointed that they decided to do a Huntsman General and not do a Imperial Engineer. I think if they had given us the Engineer character as a hero, who would have maybe had like unique buffs to buff ranged units around him, have guns and stuff. Does Nakai use magic? No. Nakai is just a big fighter boy. That blade in his hands is literally a relic from an old one that just lets him beat people to death. So I will say that if there's one concern that I really have with Creative Assembly right now, and I think I'm going to make a video about it, It's that I feel like Creative Assembly has this morbid obsession with adding generals to the game, when I would much rather them add heroes to the game. Hey Santiago, how you doing? I don't like when they just keep adding more and more lords, because my problem is you can't take multiple lords in an army, right? So I'm going to save that for the end. Let's go through the rest of the stuff, because this is going to turn into a huge tirade. This is a problem I've kind of been sitting on for a little while, and like a genuine concern I have for the future of the game. But we'll deal with that when we come to it. We'll come back to that. Archers, backbone of hunting parties. These Imperial archers are inexpensive, plentiful, quick to fire, and are great at soaking enemy formations with range damage. And they have a loose formation, so they trade fire with other ranged units at a profit. Awesome, great design. They should just be super cheap, spread out. You know, they should probably be one of the worst archer units in the game. But if they have like high rates of fire and they're spread out to make up for it, I think that's a really good design. The Death Jacks, archers, regiments of renown. That's from the Imperial Heraldry's book. These elite archers also have stalk, snipe, and vanguard deployment. Woo! Okay. I mean, they're still archers, so they still will probably be pretty crap. But that's not too bad. If well screened, they can fire without fear of discovery or ranged retaliation. I don't believe you. Like, here's the thing. I appreciate that they designed stalk and snipe as the idea of, oh look, I'm being shot and I can't see the enemy unit. But I consider that total bullshit, because a lot of the time in this game, you can find units that have stalk and are ranged characters shooting at you. You can see them usually from like pretty stupid distances away, like Way Watchers and stuff. So, cool idea. Creative Assembly on the Death Jacks, I don't believe you. Do not believe you at all. They lie! Really? That's the closest you can get me to a half screen? Come on. Oh my god. Nakai's One Punch Man. Alright, Undertaker, have a good one. What if they went back to Shogun 2 style? Yeah, Mr. James, 6222, I deeply feel that at least in single player, you should have the ability to have multiple lords in a single army. Because I am genuinely growing to well, once again, I'll get back to it. Let's keep moving. Huntsmen. Only the finest archers ascend to the rank of huntsmen. Well-drilled and versatile, they have vanguard deployment, stalk, firewall moving, greater range, greater accuracy, and deal bonus damage to large targets. Yes! That was one of my biggest wishes for an Empire update, was to have anti-large missiles on the Huntsmen. Very excited about that. The White Wolves, Regiment of Renown, also I believe from the Heraldry book. Elite archers match their bow skills with ruthless melee abilities. Okay, so they're basically Shadow Warriors. Oh, but they have Encourage and Immune to Psych. Nice! Nice, that's pretty cool. If you have more than one lord in an army, what's the point of heroes? I would probably think that heroes would be like a lot cheaper. That would probably be the biggest point. War wagons. I can't believe we got war wagons. So for those who don't know what war wagons are, war wagons were back in 5th edition Warhammer, and they're literally like, you know those wagons that kids ride, where you like put them in the little metal wagon and you drag it down the sidewalk or whatever? That's basically what a war wagon is. It's just, instead of being pulled by your dad, it's pulled by horses. And instead of only having a lip that goes, like the sides that only go up like a few inches, it goes up like 6 feet. So they're basically glorified, like carts that let you, and they traditionally had a bunch of guys in the back with handguns that could shoot while it was being dragged around. And there's multiple versions. Okay, and for the record, they were replaced by the steam tank. Because Games Workshop was like, here's the steam tank. It's like the war wagon, but better. But it seems like CA's been like, hey, now instead of a steam tank, you can have war wagons, which Based on what I'm reading here, it looks like they're being treated as a chariot unit, so it's probably going to be 3 guys per unit, or 3 war wagons per unit. So each wagon comes with 6 riflemen that have armor-piercing outrider rifles. Ooh, okay, so they can rapid fire. They are slower than standard missile cab, but far more tanky. Can fire while moving in all directions. Okay, that's pretty cool. Like, if they can fire while moving in any direction, that is legitimately pretty interesting. Because, I mean, if they're fast enough to stay ahead of infantry, you can literally troll enemy units by just putting them in front and letting them just, like, skirmish mode away while people are just going pew 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 in your face. Let's check in on chat here. Sotek shaved the neck beard? Nah, I'm okay with my beard right now. It's a little. I haven't combed it today, so it's a little wild looking, but I don't care. Merging lords would make a lot of sense for Isabel and Vlad. Yeah, stuff like that. Even if it was limited, so you could only have like 2 or 3 lords per army, I really feel like we're getting to the point where that should be an option because it's getting a little ridiculous. War wagons. These mobile artillery pieces carry less ammo than standard mortars, but they're... Okay, so they're basically mortars that can reposition, and that's it. Oh, though in a pinch you can use them as chariots. Okay. Okay, that's actually pretty decent. Wow, I wonder if that's going to make wagons, mortars actually used in multiplayer. Because I actually think mortars are pretty good, just people just don't use them. Because I guess it's because in multiplayer, people tend not to have like 20 stacks. You know, they'll usually have like a more elite-focused army and not as many units. So, you know, that's probably the main issue. And then the Black Lions. Oh, okay, thank God. So the Hellblaster Volley Gun War Wagon is a Regiment of Renown. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, if that was like a legit unit, I would have been kind of concerned. The Ultimate Unit, devastating mobile light artillery piece. It's shorter range than the standard Hellblaster Volley Gun, but it can pew-pew and then move away. I think that would be a very popular unit. Though maybe, we don't really see Hellblaster Volley Guns in multiplayer. So I don't know if that's going to be that super big. The old friends portion in this update, what are your thoughts on that? I don't know yet. I'll worry about that when we get to the end of all this. New Horde mechanics. The Kai's faction, the Spirit of the Jungle, offers a unique variation on a Horde. Oh, he's a Horde? Oh, that's so cool. I mean, that's also a little sad because it means you probably can't confederate with them if you're playing other Lizardmen, but I love that that's really unique. Each army in this faction, when placed in the encampment stance, may develop its settlement infrastructure as a standard settlement would. That infrastructure is preserved when the Horde moves off and may be further developed during future periods of encampment. Okay, that's not unusual for a Horde. If a Horde is destroyed in battle, all its infrastructure is lost alongside the army. Okay, none of that is new. I believe that's the case with all Hordes. However, only Nakai's personal Horde can unlock units for recruitment. Other Hordes in his faction may then recruit unit types Nakai has unlocked using the global recruitment pool. Oh. These minor Hordes have their own infrastructure, some of which are designed on reducing global recruit. Whoa, that's super weird. That's super... So you can't... So that means only Nakai is allowed to build the basic recruitment buildings, and everyone else has to recruit from his options. That's super interesting. Okay. I like that because it means that once you have access to a unit with Nakai, your entire faction has access to that unit, but that's pretty weird. Defense of the Great Plan. The Great Plan of the Old Ones lies in delicate balance. Many look to disrupt it. Nakai begins play with a vassal faction called the Defenders of the Great Plan, the caretakers of the Great Temple Cities. When one of Nakai's armies captures a region, it may be gifted to the Defenders. When a region is gifted, Nakai must choose which old one that region's temple should be dedicated to. Oh, that's super cool. So that's kind of like... So instead of Norska, which is like... Black Phillip, I did think about it for a second, but then I realized I didn't really care. So he's kind of like Norska, but instead of raising the settlement to dedicate it to a god, he creates a vassal dedicated to a god. So he's like the opposite of the Norskins. That's really cool. I like that. That's super interesting. As more temples are dedicated to a specific old one, the more powerful the rewards bestowed upon Nakai and his faction become. Alright. These temples generate a unique resource called the Old One's Favor. Nakai may expend this favor to access blessed spawning units or to recruit lords at much higher ranks. I don't like that second part. I really hope that means that I hope that's not just lords. I hope it's blessed spawning units and heroes, because honestly, I don't know about you guys, but whenever I play Total War Warhammer, I rarely ever bother with getting more than like 2 or 3 lords in like an entire campaign, unless I'm doing like a super long one. Like, it's just too expensive. Like, if you're playing on like hard or higher difficulty, like I really fucking hate when there's like lord spam, because it doesn't work with the way the game's designed. So hopefully that's heroes as well. I do like the fact that you'll be able to purchase blessed spawnings. I'm hoping that means you can get whatever blessed spawning units you want, not just like the ones that are based on the random quests. But we'll see. I wonder which old ones you can dedicate stuff to. Doesn't say. Alright, Warm Blood Invaders. The avaricious Warm Bloods look to pillage the temple cities of Lustria. These, okay. In the Eye of the Vortex campaign, Nakai must fight to keep Lustria in the rightful hands of the Lizardmen. Several Empire colonies have been established, and each is encroaching on the jungle. They must be dealt with. Oh, okay. 4 extremely dangerous hunters coordinate the effort. Oh, okay, cool. So you have to hunt down the hunters and then deal with Wolfheart. Oh, that's cool. Okay, that's cool. I like that. Unique rights. Nakai is a selection of new rights. Right of allegiance. Increase the vassal income and all hordes replenishment rate. That's going to be on permanent spam. Yeah, that one right there, that's the one that you activate every turn it's available. Right of rebirth. Increases growth rate, reduces construction costs, reduces unit recruitment, and upkeep costs faction-wide. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, that's actually super good too. Oh, wow, those are both really good. Maybe cycle through those. Right of Mastery. This right increases the recruitment rank of Kroxigors, Kroxigor Ancients, and Sacred Kroxigors, while improving strength and armor. Okay. That's a little... that's okay. I'm not as big of a fan of that right. Okay. Okay. Mr. Baggo Guts, thanks so much for the $2 super chat. Between Wolfheart and Nakai, who wins in a fight? Probably Nakai. I would be very... I feel very confident Wolfheart would not be beating Nakai in a fight. Wolfheart would probably get curb stomped, to be honest. Nakai the Wanderer. With high armor, health, melee attack, and weapon strength, Nakai is a powerful brawler, well suited to extended melee. Ooh, okay. He also grants melee bonus defense to and reduced recruitment costs of Kroxigors and Sacred Kroxigors. Okay, it's expected that he would have a very high Kroxigor focus. He also has new support abilities. Miasma of Despair reduces vigor, leadership, and speed, vigor, and leadership. Whoa, that's really gross. Primal Roar increases physical resistance and melee attack and grants rampage to allies. That's really fun. Golden Tributes. Perfect Vigor for allies in range? What? Perfect Vigor? An AoE Perfect Vigor? Oh boy, that's dirty. Dude, that is super dirty. Luis Alberto Gomez. I'm pretty sure the last right is probably going to be the one to get Slong. I imagine they're going to keep the Slong one. Matthew donated $25. Says, this is all I got left, my man. Hope it helps. Oh, Matthew, thanks so much, man. I really appreciate the donation. I appreciate y'all's support. It's definitely going to be needed. And because I don't know how much more shit I'm going to have to buy to get the computer fixed. But thank you. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Ancient Croxagores. These well-armored, hard-hitting ancient Trinity specialists are cast in the mold of Nakai itself and well... these are lords. Oh, I feel a rant coming. I'm going to shove it down for right now. Feral Dreadsaurians. Breathtaking weapon damage, high armor. These towering walls of teeth and fury are versatile, elite-killing melee behemoths suffer from rampage. Wait, there's a feral and a non... What's a non-feral? Dreadsaurian with a howdah? Skink skirmishers do not rampage. 4 giant blowpipes and 8 skinks hurling javelins? Ooh. Ooh. What? Why would they buff Dreadsaurians? Who would buff Dreadsaurians? Ooh. Dude, if that existed in tabletop, get fucked. Ooh. That's dirty, y'all. So that's literally 2 ancient stegodons worth of firepower on top of a Dreadsaurian. Ooh, bitch. That is ugly. Yeah, that better be expensive. That's literally able to perform almost every role on the battlefield. The only thing it doesn't do is like cast magic. Shredder of Lustria. Rank 9 stats, encourage, passive aura that reduces enemy leadership. Whoo, okay. Reduces enemy leadership. Oh, yikes. Yikes. Dude, Lizardmen are going to be super fun to play. I mean, they already are, but oh my god. A Terror Causer with a leadership reducing ability is dirty. Dirty. Sacred Croxagores. These versatile and hard-hitting monstrous infantry are great all-rounders. With high weapon strength, magic attacks. Oh, okay. Okay, that's cool. They plow through against a greater variety of foes than standard Croxagores. Alright, that's cool. So instead of great weapons, they have magical gauntlets? I don't know. I guess that's what they are. They look cool. I like that. Cohort of Waddle, which is the old one of like shadows and hunting. Top tier monstrous infantry unit. Building on their with extra armor sundering and bonus physical resistance. Oh my god. Dude, armor sundering and physical resistance. Power. Oh yeah, they are power fists. That's right. We got some 40k lizardmen finally. 40k lizardmen. It's happening. So armor sundering on Croxagores. Oh my gosh, that's so scary. Dude, if you put them with like Saurus warriors or red-crested skinks, they're going to plow through people. Oh, Razordons. Razordon hunting pack. Fill the air with deadly grape shot volleys of armor-piercing fire. Oh, okay, so they're kind of making them like blunderbusses, I guess? They're potent and mobile armored infantry hunters. Alright, sounds reasonable. That is the main issue I think Lizardmen have, is dealing with like armored cav, even though salamanders are pretty good for that, and then armored, like halberd armored infantry, which Razordons will hopefully be good for. Amexon barbs have poison damage, enhanced missile resistance. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Alright, great. Very excited. Okay, that's it for Steam. Let's go back to the actual news. Dude, dwarves are gonna just lose against Lizardmen, I feel like. Dreadsaurian for multiplayer. I am suspecting that the Dreadsaurian won't be that great for multiplayer based on its size. I mean, it looks so big in that trailer that I feel like no matter what it's doing, you're going to be able to shoot it and it'll just die immediately. So, okay. No, we're not doing that yet, Ollie. We're not doing that yet. We're not doing that yet. I gotta get through this thing. Once I get to the bottom of this list, then I got a rant for you guys. I got a rant. I might make it its own thing, but... Alright, so we already read about that. We already read about that. We already read about that. We read about that. We read that. We read that. We read that. Oh. Free LC content. Gorok! Ooh! Gorok, boy! So we finally have a Lizardman character in Itza. Mwah! How it fit through gates and settlements? Danielle, I imagine it's going to be just small enough to fit. Mammoths are great multiplayer. That's true. That's true. I think the Dread Saurian's even bigger, though. Campaign rework for Mortal Empires. Oh, campaign map region rework. Oh, I love map reworks. I love map reworks. Empire forts? Oh, like in the passes? And a new starting position for Balthazar Gelt. Ooh, and an old work. Okay, and the free LC update for the Empire. Pew 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 pew. Okay, let's see what. Oh, campaign map. What do we got? Oh, we got Solent. Oh, okay, so we got the ruined. We got the ruined. The Reuven province. Oh, Albion. New province and regions have been added for Albion, so it's like a full island. Dude, I bet you guys Nakai. I bet you guys Nakai is gonna start in Albion on Mortal Empires. I bet you that's where he's gonna go, because Albion in the original Albion campaign, the big characters that participated in it for the Lizardmen were Mazdamundi, Krakar, and Nakai. New mountain passes have been added between the Empire and its neighbors, complete with an all-new Empire fort settlement battlefield similar to High Elf Gates. Awesome. Dude, that is so important. This right here is such a big fucking deal. When I was playing my campaigns against Professor Pone, which unfortunately we didn't finish, hopefully I can convince him to start a new one, because we had a lot of fun with it. But one of the problems I massively had with that campaign was that we kept I kept getting invaded by freaking greenskins coming from Bretonnia. I was always getting attacked by the fucking Skull Smashers, and it was driving me crazy. So really, really excited to see that. The fact that there's going to be forts blocking it, thank you God. New greenskins and Wood Elf factions have been added in the Drakeweld and Wasteland. Did we get the Black Pit? Oh my God! Did we get Wood Elves? Laralorn? Because we have the Laralorn Forest as a like a building you can get if you take Salzenmund. But I wonder if it's like a legit region or province now. Dude, if we got the Black Pit and Laralorn, that means there's going to be 2 brand new provinces out there. You see the blue steam tank? You think it'll be an ROR? Well, they didn't have it on the ROR list. You know what? I bet the blue steam tank, it's either the color that it is. That might just be the color the steam tank is when you're playing that faction. Alternatively, it might be like a campaign-only thing. Any chances of Gorok or Nakai having mounts? No. Gorok and Nakai should not have mounts. Gorok and Nakai should be on the ground. Period. End of story. I would be super upset, legitimately. Dude, if they're giving us the Black Pit for the goblins and the Laralorn for the Wood Elves, that is hype. That is super hype. We already talked about the forts. Balthazar Gelt. Oh, okay. Balthazar Gelt is taking over Solent. That makes sense. So they added a new province to the Empire, but instead of that, okay, that's smart. So they didn't have to like replace an electric count. But hey, Balthazar Gelt has his own faction now. Oh, no Volkmar though. Sad face. Sad face. I really wanted Volkmar to have his own thing. Who's the Goblin Legendary Lord that lives in the Black Pit? There's not like a super famous one. There's just one there. Isn't Drakewald a lost province too? It is. Drakewald is a lost province. So maybe like if you take the Black Pit, you can take the Drakewald province. Maybe that's what it'll be called. I don't know. We'll see. Empire co-op campaign is now available. That the fact that that wasn't in the base game is such a disgusting thing. Or like didn't, or at least wasn't available when Volkmar came out. It was such a letdown. So thank God, only like, you know, 2.5 years too late. Oh, the Empire Office system is being replaced with the new Elector Count system. That's awesome, because the Empire Office system was terrible. What about Nakai as a mount? That might be a little OP. This new political feature will make it possible to confederate the... Oh, thank you, Jesus. I am a firm believer that every race in the game should have a unique confederation mechanic. You know, it's like Norskins have the ability to confederate by you killing another Norskin faction's lord in battle. Or High Elves are able to get easy confederations by using the political system. Bretonnians, you confederate through research tech. Like, I really feel strongly that one of the best things they could do for the game would be making sure each faction has its own way to confederate. I know Volkmar, it looks like Volkmar is still in Altdorf, which is a bummer. I really would have liked to see Volkmar moved to, like, anywhere. Anywhere, not Altdorf. I want Volkmar to go on a freaking crusade. It sucks that he's still in, that he's still at home. Look in Total War Twitter. Okay, we will in just a minute. Empire. Okay. New resources of prestige and imperial authority. Ooh. 13 Elector Count positions to command. Oh, okay, instead of offices. That's cool. Unique rune fangs and exclusive units. Okay, well there's your blue steam tank, guys. There's your blue steam tank is right there. You get exclusive units when you command a province capital. So I don't know which province you get it for. Maybe Nuln, but it looks like you get a unique steam tank. Yeah, the Drakewald province was absorbed by Midland and Nordland. Yeah. Woo! Dude, I don't know which campaign I'm gonna play. So in this update on the 11th, wow, that's very soon. So on the 11th, we're literally getting a Gorok campaign, Nakai campaign, Wolfheart campaign, Balthazar Gelt campaign. There are four new freaking campaigns coming in this update. Hot damn. Alright, let's go to Twitter. $8 if you pre-order? No, don't pre-order. Pre-order using my thing. Oh, I'm not logged in on Twitter on this PC. I'll have to look at that later. Sorry, guys. Let me look at something real quick, and then I got a rant for you guys. I know y'all like it when I get angry, and I'm about to get a little upset. What happens to Volkmar in the end times? He gets killed, like, right at the beginning. Volkmar got captured by Manfred von Karstein leading into the end times, and then he got sacrificed by Archon the Black, and he turned into the new Nagash. So, like, Nagash's body in the end times was made from Volkmar's body. It was a super fucked up thing to do to his character, in my opinion. Like, it was like, oh, look how dark we are, but I thought it was kind of messed up. I would have preferred him to have died in a more interesting way. Games Workshop took a big shit on him is what happened. One sec, my dudes. I'm checking if I can shamelessly promote myself on something real quick. Ah, I can. Cool. Hold on, guys. Okay, everybody, listen up. Listen up. If you are on the live stream right now. If you want to support the channel and save literally 50 cents, go to the description below the below the channel, and you will see a link to fanatical.com, reference LSOTEC, and if you go to that link, you can purchase the DLC for 15% off. I don't know why it doesn't let me post that link in chat. It makes me very upset. It's like, it's my... So, it's right here. You can see it right here if you're watching on the live stream. www.fanatical.com/ref equal LSOTEC. If you use that link, you can pick up the game for 15% off instead of 10% off. You'll save some money. I'll make some money. Everybody wins. I'll be promoting the shit out of that over the next 2 or 3 weeks. Alright, so be sure to check that out. And there's also a link if you want to join the Discord community, I guess. Okay. I need a drink of water. We got a rant. The blue steam tank. Oh yeah, the Emperor's Wrath. Oh, it's from Toddbringer. So goofy. Okay, so that's if you take Midland. So it almost sounds like they've literally just done... Oh, and yeah, when you use the reference link, it'll take you to Fanatical, and then you just say... War... No. Block. I don't like their notification system. Warhammer. You just go in there... Jason Dean just dined in at $9.99 through Super Chat. Hey, I already pre-ordered, so here's some money instead. Thank you, man. That's way more than I would have made through a pre-order, so I appreciate your generosity. Thank you. Oh, I like how it says release September 10th. Apparently, you get early access if you do this version. So you just type it in, and then you'll just go there. But, yeah, you have to follow the www.fanatical.com / ref equals... Yeah. Okay, so... I am now answering questions from you guys. I'm only paying attention to you guys now. However, I have a rant. There is something that I am a little upset about. And people seem to really enjoy when I get a little upset. So I'm going to warn you before I get into this. Before I get into this, I realize so much that this is literally like super entitled gamer bullshit. So, if you don't care, feel free to ignore it. It's something I'm a little passionate about, but I realize that it's absurd. Also, someone asked, who am I more excited for, Nakai or Gorok? Nakai. I'm way more excited for Nakai. I love Nakai. Okay. Here's my issue. My problem with this DLC, and a lot of what what I'm worried about of the future for Total War Warhammer, is that I really don't like that Creative Assembly is I'm going for a walk. $5 super chat donation. Pro as soon as I saw the trailer. Well, thank you very, very much. You guys don't need to donate if you already pre-ordered the game. I really appreciate it. If you wanna, you know, I should call them donations. I should call them tips. I like to think of them as tips. I like to think that I'm an entertainer. I'm a poor dude that's on the sidewalk in a dirty city, and I try and entertain you guys. And if you want to drop some money into the little hat or bucket that I have next to me, great. I'm super happy to take it, and I really appreciate your support. And if you just want to have a good time and then be like, ah, that guy's weird, and go on your merry day, that's cool too. Whatever suits you best. I really appreciate it, guys. Thanks. So anyway, here's my problem. My problem is that one thing I'm really, really worried about with this DLC and going forward in the future DLCs is that Creative Assembly has this weird obsession with making characters into lords, and to the point that he to the point that they are upgrading or creating new kinds of lords, which I have a really big issue with. And the reason is that you can't take multiple lords in an army. Rolana, here's a tip, Sotek, you're awesome. Oh, thanks, man. Thanks, I really appreciate it. You've been a wonderful, long-time supporter, and I really appreciate it. I thought you sat in a glorious temple of Sotek. I mean, if you want me to, I could put up the green screen real quick, but I'm a little too lazy right now. Everyone, hold on a second. I can't get into my rant if you guys keep interrupting. Jason Dean, here's some money for the pickle jar then. Thank you, very much appreciate it. Chris Lofton, $50 super chat. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Thank you all very, very much for the generous support. Okay, hold on. Yeah, sorry. Every time I open the stream to look at something, it goes... Okay, so you can't put lords together in an army, right? Which maybe that's what the issue is, and maybe that's something worth talking about. But the thing that I really want to talk about is I don't like the Kroxigor Ancient as a lord. I really don't like it. As a big lore person and as someone who like really enjoys the game, I like the system of having a tier system for units. So like, let's say you have, because the way it should work is you have a unit type, and then for the elite of that unit type, you might have an elite unit version, and then for the elite of that, you have a hero, and then for the elite of that, you have a lord. With rare exceptions. Like, there are rare exceptions. Like, the Slawn should not have a hero version. The Slawn should just be lords, because they're super duper rare, yada yada. Lord Croak is an exception to this, but that's because they wanted him to be available for every army, and they were also like, well, Lord Croak doesn't really make sense as a general because he's dead. So making him a hero, really cool idea. That was awesome. I love that they did that. But like, having a lord who is then pigeonholed in that role, if you don't take a whole army built around that guy, then you can't use him. It fucking sucks. So like the Kroxigor Ancient, right? So here we go. We have Kroxigors, which are the construction workers of the Lizardmen, and they're beasts of burden. They're relatively intelligent in that they're smart enough to have like a rudimentary language. They're sentient and they can follow instructions. But on the battlefield, they tend to cave to their monstrous inclinations. And I'll put it this way: Kroxigors are kind of dumb enough that Fewer, shut up. Thank you for the donation, but sit down and shut the fuck up. Sit down. But you have the base Kroxigors, who in the lore and on Tabletop Fantasy, they have chains around their gauntlets that connect to their weapons. And the reason they have these chains is because they... by the way, I only said that to Fewer because he's a mod here. Just to be clear. Fewer only gets bad treatment because he's a mod. Anyway, so regular Kroxigors, so just the super generic Kroxigors, not the characters, just like the unit, baseline Kroxigors, they have their weapons chained to their wrists in the lore and their tabletop models because they're so dumb, typically, that when they get into battle, they start to, like, they give in to their animalistic urges and they get distracted and they forget that they have weapons. Like, they drop their weapons and will start, like, biting people or hitting people with their tails or smashing them with their hands. And because of that, they they strap their weapons to them. Anthony Strickling, thank you, says make me. Oh, if only I could force people to not throw money at me. Oh, this is such a terrible situation. Thank you, I appreciate it. So then we have the tier above that, which are now Sacred Kroxigors. Which Sacred Kroxigors are, of course, Kroxigors that have they're power fists. They're Space Marine Kroxigors. They have magical power fists. So we have now the elite tier. Jason D with the 1999 says never, and I'm going for a walk says nothing, but donates $1. Thank you guys, I appreciate it. Hold up. Hold up. man, I'm gonna have to start I'm gonna have to start throat punching people. All right. So, also, I'm gonna say this just as a random aside, but for anyone that wants to donate, if you see all the links beneath it and you're like, oh, do I do super chat or oh my god. Hold up, don't go, wait. Fear donated $25, says, love your entertainment, stay awesome. Thank you, Fear, thank you so much. So, for anyone that's looking down, you're like, do I use super chat or do I use the Streamlabs donation? If y'all can, it's a lot more, it's much better for me if you use the Streamlabs link for donations. Just because whenever you do super chat, it gets to me eventually. YouTube does this like really weird thing where whenever YouTube gets money for a creator, they hoard it and they take a really big chunk out of it and they won't give it to the creator until the 21st of every month. So like, they're super annoying. So anyway, back, where was I? Y'all are really making this hard. All right, there we go. So we have base Kroxigors, really dumb. We have sacred Kroxigors, who seem to be following the same system. The sacred Kroxigors have power fists, so their weapons are literally strapped to them, so they can just beat people to death. But they're not smart. So you would think super low tier unit, elite tier unit, hero. This is where the ancient Kroxigor should be. Oh my god. Lord Winch donating $6.71 who says, and some say he's still trying to rant about the Kroxigor. I will succeed. You can't stop me. You can stifle me, but you can't stop me. Hey Zachary, what's up, man? Oh my god. Roland one dedicating $5 Australian says fans pay YouTuber to punch them in the throat for reasons. Dude, I feel very, very confident that if YouTubers could actually hit a button to throat punch various people watching their stream, people would probably disturbingly pay money for that. And it would be horrifying. But thank you. Thank you for your continued support. So my issue with the Kroxigor Ancient is a bunch. First of all, he should be a hero because that makes sense in the tier system. You got the Kroxigor, Sacred Kroxigor, Ancient Kroxigor. Ancient Kroxigors are traditionally the unit champions of the Kroxigor unit, so they're like a hero of the unit. Sacred Kroxigors are something they just kind of made up, which seem to be like the blessed spawning version, but they have magic attacks. That's kind of their deal. And it seems that they do high weapon strength instead of high armor piercing, so they're better against many things. But anyway, so the Kroxigor Ancient, Kroxigors should not lead armies. There is a one-time exception for Nakai the Wanderer. Nakai the Wanderer makes sense as a general because he's literally like a primordial force of nature. But it doesn't make sense to me for the Kroxigor Ancient to be a lord. Because that means if I want to have an army and I want it to be balanced around a monstrous design, I have to take a Kroxigor Ancient. I can't, instead of what I want to do, like, what I would like to do is take, like, a Slann, and then you have Kroxigor Ancient as a hero, and then you build a monstrous army around that. Jesus Christ, guys. Adam Belend, let's face it, if you're a musician on the street living, I could just voice contact and walk a little faster. Adam, I mean, you could do that with the stream, too, if you want. You could just, like, put the stream on speakers in a room and just walk by it really fast. That way you get the emotional feeling of getting to walk past me and not actually listen to what I'm doing. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. So what would my alternative be to the Ancient Kroxigor? I wouldn't have one. I think both the characters in this DLC should have been heroes, not lords. Like an Imperial, a Huntsman General is literally just a general with a bow from the sound of it. Whereas the Kroxigor Ancient you have as a lord, those would have been way better as heroes. And they would have filled out the roster in a more appropriate way. Because think about it. When you get an Ancient Kroxigor, you're not actually getting like a new way to build fully fledged armies. What you're getting is a new baseline to design an army around. So instead of, because imagine if the Kroxigor Ancient had been, like the Gorbel from the Beastmen. So he has a blue tree, a small red tree. So he has like unique area of effect skills. So like they talked about the new abilities in this DLC is they have the one that like reduces speed, vigor, and something else like leadership and that area of effect. That would be a super badass buff on a character like that, because we have characters like the Skinwolf Werekin and the Gorbel are both monstrous heroes who provide local red buffs to their army. So they have a really awesome niche within their army design. If you want to go for a monstrous army, you take a monstrous character. So you take like a Saurus Old Blood and get him on a Carnosaur, or you get a red-crested Skink Chief, put him on a Stegodon, or you take a Slon. But now the Kroxigors are generals. When from a lore perspective, that doesn't make any sense. Kroxigors are terrible generals. They don't have a concept of being able to lead armies. Kroxigor Ancients, sure, they're ancient from like the perspective of regular Kroxigors, but what makes Nakai special and what makes Nakai unique is that he is the only remaining first-generation Kroxigor. Just like, I mean, that's what a lot of what makes these characters special. Krokgar is the only remaining spawning from his group. Do I like the DLC aside from this? Yes. Yes, hold on. I will say, I love the DLC. I love the DLC. This DLC for me, I am very worried that instead of CA filling out the rosters with things that already exist, like this is something that pissed me off about the Skaven DLC, was that the Skaven don't have Clan Scorier lords in the lore. They have like warlords, Greyseers, and then special characters, but you have the Warlock Engineer. So when they announced they were going to release the DLC, in my brain I thought, oh, okay, so I was like, oh, so they could do something really fun for a hero or lord, like they did the Warlock Masters, which is really weird because that's not even the naming convention for them. It should be an Arch Warlock, but they're inventing new lord types, and which are mostly they're competing for space that's already very restrictive. Lords in their current design are characters who do not share space. Like, if you take a lord, then those are directly competed for spots. So as a Lizardman player now, whenever you build an army, you have to look at it and go, okay, I can have a Slon, a Saurus Old Blood, a Red-Crested Skink Chief, and a Kroxigor Ancient. You can't mix them. You can only have one. But whereas the Slon has a hero version in the Skink Priest, the Saurus Old Blood has a hero version in the Scar Veteran, and the Red-Crested Skink Chief has a hero version in the Skink Chief, in that you have kind of a lesser version that may not be a direct correlation, but they're very similar in design, so you can spread them out among your armies and have more intricate designs. The Kroxigor Ancient is literally just a lord for no fucking reason. Like, that's my big issue, is that CA did not make the Kroxigor Ancient a lord because you look at a Kroxigor Ancient and you go, that should be a lord. No, it should be a hero. They don't have the intelligence or the background design to be lords. They don't have as they exist in the storyline, they're glorified fighters, but they're not super intelligent. They're not filling a unique niche either, because now they're competing with Nakai for his spot as opposed to being able to be in any spot. So now if you take Skink Wizards don't get... No, there's no Skink Priest Lords. Those don't exist. That being said, the way we're going, I bet you guys CA is going to come out for... my issue is I feel like CA is looking at their Lord packs and they go, well, it's called a Lord pack. They gotta be Lords. The only hero that we have paid for... Changer of Ways donated $31. Says, all pawns of the Great Deceiver. Finally caught a Sotek live stream. Hey, Changer of Ways. What are you talking about? You caught me yesterday. Thanks for the donation, guys. Really appreciate it. So, the thing is that I'm worried about is CA looks at these Lord packs and they go, well, it's called a Lord pack, so it's got to have a Lord in it. Like, people don't want heroes, which is, I think, is asinine. Because the heroes are subjectively way better than Lords. Like, they allow for more unique customization, more unique abilities, because they have more space on their skill trees that you can put in unique things. When you put a Lord into the game, they have to have a fully developed blue tree, a fully developed red tree, a fully developed yellow tree, and unique skills, including mounts, typically. So there's not a lot of room for them to have unique spots, essentially. So, like, whenever you put in, like, you know, they have maybe 3 unique abilities. You know, they'll have mounts, missile resistance, magic resistance, immortality, 3 unique things. Instead, whereas a hero could have yellow tree, minor blue tree, then they can have, and that's it. And then, you know, they have, like, maybe mounts and the same thing. But they've got all this space now that you can really develop what they can do. Like, look at Lord Croak. Lord Croak is one of the best characters in the game because he has this bizarrely huge skill tree despite being a hero. And I really feel like they have really shit on the possibility, or they're really shitting on the opportunity to have more heroes in the game. You should have more hero options than Lord options with every single army in the game. Period. Because that makes for better design. You know, if you're a Lizardman, you should have 3 Lord choices, a Skink, a Saurus, a Slann, 4 hero choices. Skink, Slann, Wizard, Kroxigor. So you have a monster, a caster, a anti-large potential rider, and a agility-focused range character. Perfect. With the Empire, instead of giving a Huntsman General, they could have instead done the Imperial Engineer, which is a character we are missing from the game. And an Imperial Engineer, you could have had been the exact same design as the Huntsman General. You could have said, okay, he's an Imperial Engineer. He has an experimental bow or gun that he's brought with him to Lustria that gives him fire damage. Maybe he can throw oil casks or grenades like we saw with the zombie whites that allows him to hit units with oil so they take more fire damage. On top of that, he can buff local ranged units, and now you can take him in any army. Instead, you bring in these Lord choices who are, it's just fucking dumb. It's such a waste of potential. You bring in these Lord choices and they can't impact the way the race plays. Rolana, thanks, man. You are donating a lot. I really appreciate it. Do the Slann give Nakai orders or any times, or does he just do whatever? Nakai traditionally just does whatever. Nakai does not listen to this. If Nakai shows up and there is a Slann, they might reach into his mind and say, hey, I need you to go do this thing. And he'll be like, okay, I got it. But where Nakai shows up, as far as like where on the globe he is, Nakai is driven by like a deep inner soul. He's driven by something more primordial. Like, it's like the old ones whisper directly into his mind, and he has an innate understanding of where he needs to go. I think you're making great points. Couldn't agree more. Hope your CPU gets fixed soon. Thanks, Fox and Socks. I appreciate it. We need the Chaos Dragon Lord? We have Chaos Dragon Lords. What are you talking about? But, as I was saying, I think at the end of the day, it would be much, much better for there to be more heroes, less lords. Which is how it's designed in tabletop as well. Because the thing about heroes is they're naturally cheaper, and so you're able to take more of them and have a better mix. Whenever you include more lords than heroes, you're dealing with a situation where you're creating a funnel where people won't be able to access that content. Oh, the Chaos Dragon is Lord. Oh yeah, I'd love Galrach. Galrach would be a great Lord. Could it be easier on the dev side to make Lords than heroes? I don't think so. I'm not sure. I don't think there'd be a difference, really. I think on the... Because if you think about it on the development side, both of them can have auras. But there's nothing a hero does that a lord does not already require. So, like, if you create a... I'm trying to think of a good example. If you create a lord, like a Crux... Let's take the Cruxor Ancient. If you create a lord, he has to be available on the campaign map. Same thing for the hero. He has to join an army. Same thing for the hero. He can have red auras that are activatable or passive. Same thing. You know, yada, yada, yada. From a creative perspective, if so, that's just really lazy. That's just super lazy. Like, I love CA, and I think this DLC is 90% awesome, but I think the fact that they're just pouring more lords into the game into what I kind of think of it as like imagine you have two buckets. One says lord, one says hero, and you can pour into a bucket and it fills up, but eventually it's going to spill over because you have too much shit in there. The amount of lords in the game compared to heroes is kind of obnoxious a lot of the time. The only place in the game right now where we have very few heroes, or we have too many heroes and not enough lords, are for factions that do not have their lord level casters. Because everyone should have access to a lord level caster, except the dwarves who should have rune lords. Rolana 1 donating another 5. Take it easy, dude. Just curious, but have Krokar and Nakai ever worked together? Yes, Nakai and Krokar fought side by side during the Albion Crisis. And there's a reason the Lizardmen won that war. I feel like the war wagons are going to make Outriders obsolete. I don't think so, Pone. I think they will against certain armies, because I think the thing about the war wagons is they're going to be much slower. They're going to have less ammunition and a much lower rate of fire, just due to having less guys. So I think because of that, the Outriders will still be much more popular when you're fighting faster armies that you want to combat with, like, fast cavalry. Because, like, for instance, I think Marauder Horsemen are still going to... I think Marauder Horsemen are going to poop on war wagons. Like, Marauder Horsemen with axes especially are going to rip war wagons apart. Whereas I think that Outriders will still be really, really good. Or Pistoliers. Whew. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying there shouldn't be more lords in the game. Obviously, every legendary lord should be a lord. So, like, I still want Tarux the Brass Bull for the Beastmen. I still think every faction should have a caster lord. So, like, there should be Great Brave Shamans for the Beastmen, or Sorcerer Shaman Lords, or Famir Matriarchs for Norska. There should, you know, everybody, there should be Empire Wizard Lords. They should all have access to a caster level lord. And then for armies where the hero slot has already been filled, but in their lore or in their army roster there is a lord version, they should get that too. So, like, we already have a Gore Bull for the Beastmen, so they should get the Doom Bull, which is a lord. Like, so at that point, you're walking up the stairs, right? That works really well. Unit, elite unit, hero, lord. That should be kind of the thing you want to follow. The problem I have with this newest DLC is it goes unit, elite unit, fuck you, lord. That's the current design. And I really, really don't like that. I'm probably going to make like a full video focusing on just that, but I'll probably make a Reddit post about it tonight. Just because, why not? I hate myself. And Reddit's going to like tear me apart, so that'll be fun. But I don't know. I don't know, guys. That's just something I'm really worried about. Like, it's not the end of the world. I'll just get a mod. I'll hopefully find a modder when the game comes out who can just fix it. But I really hope... I would like to apply pressure to CA to fix it and get the community rallied behind that. Not as a fuck you, CA, fix it, but like a, hey, this looks like it would be a better design and would flow better and would feel better in the game. Is there any way you guys could do this between now and sometime in the future? Like, I don't want to hurt CA's feelings, but... Who are the old friends? Gotrek and Felix seems very likely. Trying to think who has a friend in Warhammer Fantasy. Gotrek and Felix could be it. If they want to do another Empire free LC, it could be like Kurt Helborg and Ludwig Schwarzhelm, who are like really good friends with the Emperor. It could be Joseph Bugman for the Dwarves. It could be... I don't know, not a lot of people are friends. Those are like the only friendly people I know. It's you! It's a mirror. It lets you... Tell you what, the Old Friend DLC is going to be a self-insert character. It'll just be a character of your choice, and you take a picture with your webcam or your mobile phone. It's like it'll be an app. It'll be an app for Total War Warhammer that lets you take a picture of yourself, and it'll horribly mold your face around a really shitty model, and you'll get to play yourself. There it is. Got it. Got it! Like, Grombrindal, in my opinion, should be a hero. I think Grombrindal should be downgraded to a hero. I think that Kroxgor Ancients should be a hero. I think those are the only ones right now. Toddbringer? Could be Toddbringer. Will Kurt Helborg have to get his Runefang back now that Solomon exists again? Yes, he will. Seeing as Kurt Helborg's not in the game, though, I would not be surprised to see that. Grom could have the troll variants. Thematic units of Grom the Punch versus Eltharion DLC. Yes. So, for that, sorry, I'm talking really loud, guys. Sorry. So, for Greenskins, the Greenskins, I want to see Rogue Idol of Gork, River Trolls, Stone Trolls, Goblin, Spear Chuckas. That's my hope for the Greenskin DLC. And then for the High Elf side, I'd like to... Oh, and for a Lord, Black Orcs. Black Orc Lord. Or Hero. Black Orc Hero would be fine too. Just Black Orc. Then for the High Elves, I want to see Mirrorworm. I want a Mirrorworm monster for the High Elves. Especially because Toriurvisi is kind of like on the ocean. Snotling Pump Wagons, of course. A Ragnarok mount for Goblin Shamans. Yes, you asked what I thought would be in it. Chill out. Van Horseman and Bodros. I don't think we'll ever see Van Horseman. I would like to see Van Horseman, but if I had... I'll put it this way. Changer of Ways, when it comes to Tzeentch Legendary Lords, if I had to pick between Van Horseman and Galrach, I want Galrach. But anyway, for the High Elves, I want Lothern Seahelm, which is a hero, Archmages, oh god, what are the chariots called? What are the flying chariots? Merworms? Does anyone remember what the flying chariot is called? What are my thoughts on non-albino Skycutter? Yes, Lothern Skycutter. I want a Lothern Skycutter. Indy said that this DLC closed the door on Dogs of War. What do I think? I would say I never thought Dogs of War were a realistic possibility in the first place. Isn't Van Horseman in the cinematic trailer for Warhammer 1? No. Ari Creates. The guy in the Warhammer 1 trailer, that's the advisor. The old man who talks to you whenever you load up a Mortal Empires campaign. That's who that is. He was a light wizard that got turned by Tzeentch. And if you play through the Warrior of Chaos Mortal Empire storyline, or campaign, at the end of the campaign, he reveals who he actually is. Or he reveals what his deal is, I should say. That's like that's where you find out his deal. Sorry. So my thoughts on Nakai not being albino, I don't really care. Nakai never had an official model. Nakai never had official artwork. We always assumed he was albino because he had the Mark of the Old Ones, and in 6th edition, typically if you had the Mark of the Old Ones, it meant you were albino. Like, literally, if you open the 6th edition Lizardman book and you take the Mark of the Old Ones on a character, it's like, you should paint them albino. But it never directly states that Nakai is albino. So the fact that he's not albino, I don't care. Especially because Gorok is in the game with Nakai. I don't really think he needs to be albino because that would make him and Gorok very similar, especially they're coming in at the same time. So I don't really care. He looks amazing. He looks super amazing. That's all I cared about, is that he looks good. As long as Gorok's albino. Gorok better be fucking albino. I thought Galroch was Chaos Undivided. No, Galroch is a Tzeentch sorcerer. Galroch is a dragon whose head's split in half, and he has 2 heads. He's the very first of the Chaos Dragons. One of his heads is his original head, and his other head is created by a greater demon of Tzeentch that he devoured. But he is explicitly a Tzeentchian character. Oh, he was albino in the White Dwarf magazine? Yeah, but I don't really care. I'm not that... It's okay. Would Galroch make a good legendary hero? I think a dragon might be a little much for a hero. Galroch should probably be a lord. That would be like making Kolek a hero. Could war wagons as heroes / lord mounts work? Not for the characters they have right now. If you wanted a war wagon for a character, you would have to have Imperial Engineers. Which is, hey, that's another way Imperial Engineers could have been really cool. You're like a Warhammer Googlet. Sometimes. I try to be. What do you think we will get for the DLC and what will be the rivalry? So here are my thoughts on all the DLCs right now. I think there's going to be 4 Lord packs before now in Warhammer 3. The first one is Nakai versus Wulfric the Wanderer. So that's Luzman versus Empire. Second one I think is going to be, in no particular order, the next one will be Eltharion the Grim with the High Elves versus Grom the Paunch of the Greenskins, because that's a super duper famous rivalry. The third one will be Throt the Unclean of Clan Moulder in the Skaven versus Thoric Ironbrow, the Rune Lord of Karak Azul. And the last one will be... Malice Darkblade, the Scourge of the Dark Elves versus Zacharias the Ever-Living of the Vampire Counts. That's my bet. That's where I'm putting my money. If there's a 2-headed Tzeentch Lord, does that mean the Imperial Aquila is a lie? In Warhammer Fantasy, if you have two heads, you're Chaos Touched. though the Empire traditionally has Imperial Griffins that have 2 heads, but they're used as mounts for Wizard Lords. Neferata, I think we'll see Neferata in Game 3. I don't think she's going to be in Game 2. How strong is Ice Magic for Kislev? Very strong. Ice Magic is very powerful. Only, it's very difficult to use though. Only Ice Witches can cast it. Don't forget about Bretonia. I think Bretonia is fine. Like, Bretonia could use like a Robin Hood character or like a Crusader character who leads like the people down south. But Is Nakai slated for any who would win? Sure, the next one. Oops, I don't know what I just did. Okay, my sound just cut out, but whatever, that's fine. Beastmen and Wood Elves. No, I think the Beastmen and Wood Elves are going to get a rework. I just don't think it's going to be a DLC. I'm explicitly talking DLC, guys. I think all of the Game 1 races are getting reworks, but I only think the core races are getting DLCs. I don't think we're going to see DLC for DLC. If we do, I will be over the moon. I want a Beastman versus Wood Elf DLC so bad. So bad. But CA has not made any comment that leads me to believe that DLC will receive DLC. But I do think the Wood Elves, Beastmen, Norska... Who's the other Game 1 raise? I'm missing somebody. But I think all of them will get reworks. Like, free LC reworks. Imperial Griffin versus Manticore. That's a perfectly even fight, but I would probably give it to the Manticore. Bretonnia needs a hero with help with replenishment rate. I mean, that would be really good for like a peasant character, maybe. Norska needs Caster Lords. Yeah, Norska desperately needs a DLC, in my opinion. Norska really could use like a full DLC of extra junk. Especially, have y'all noticed that the new DLCs are smaller? Like, it's only 3 units in a Lord, and they're cheaper. So that makes sense if they're trying to like add on to stuff. That I feel like this DLC is kind of a test to see how people react, because maybe they're like worried that people won't want as big of a DLC as normal. I mean, I hope they keep the BLC. Like, I want big dick DLCs, but I'm biased. The Dawi really need a rework. The Dwarves just got a rework. They need a DLC, but they just had a rework like 6 months ago. Pretty sure Norska would only get stuff in Warhammer 3. We'll see. If Norska got a new character, I would like it to be a CA original character. I want a Thimir Matriarch Legendary Lord. They are super spooky. How do you feel about Nakai having a one-handed club instead of a massive blade? It's alright. I don't care. It's fine. It's artistic interpretation. As long as it's the Sacred Blade of Quetzal, I don't give a shit. I heard the Grom the Paunch was secretly tortured and killed by Grimm after the Greenskin invasion. Is this canon or just a myth? That may have been canon in an old edition, but in the modern edition, that is not correct. Grom the Paunch was still alive, and Eltharion never caught him. Cathay could be a Game 3 race. I would really like to see Cathay as a DLC. Yellow Turban Rebellion in Bretonnia. That would not go well for the Rebellion. It would be very quick. What would be in the Dwarf DLC? I would like to see a rework of the Anvils of Doom to make them not suck. I would like to see... Runic Golems. I'd like to see the Goblin Hewer, Thoric Ironbrow, and War Zeppelins, or Thunder Barges. There we go. That's my list. That's my list. And a hero Demon Slayer, or Dragon Slayer. Slayer hero. That's my list. Grom the Paunch versus Throth the Unclean? Throth the Unclean should have a... I wouldn't do Greenskins versus Skaven. I would do Dwarves versus Skaven, and then Greenskins. You can't do Grom not versus Eltharion. Eltharion and Grom is like the biggest rivalry in Warhammer Fantasy. Cathay, yeah, Cathay would be great. Gutrot, yeah, Gutrot Spume could be fun for Norska. Gutrot Spume would be fun. He's a solid Norskin character. Sile the Faithless, yep, that's another good one. Skaven, Wolfrats, Stormfiends, and Brood Horrors, that would be awesome. I really want Wolfrats and Brood Horrors at the very least. Maybe Giant Rats as well. Giant Rats, Wolfrats, Brood Horrors would be great. What about a Norskin faction near the south? I mean, they could do that. I wouldn't mind, like, a Norskin faction from, like, the South Pole. That could be pretty fun. I just spit all over my screen. Or it could be just one of the Norskin factions that's not as evil. Or they could do what I want. If they did the Thimir faction so that they came from, like, a swamp instead of from true Norska, like just monsters pouring out, that would be really fun. What about the Dragon Slayer Legendary Lord for the Dwarves? Ungrim Iron Fist he's a full-on Demon Slayer, yo. I want a hero, though, so I can take Slayer heroes. Are Skarsnik and Belagar a joke to you? Kind of. They're very underdeveloped. in my opinion. They need their skill trees need to be upgraded. And I think Skarsnik's AI also needs a buff. Skeggy as a start position for Norska. They could do that. It's a little close to Mazdamundi for my liking, but they could totally do that. Sorry, Sotik, you already pre-ordered? That's totally cool. Didn't the Fimir originally come from Albion? No. They come from swamps all over the Empire as well. And the New World. Anywhere where there's like a swamp and it's reasonably far north, you can find Fimir. Fox and Son with another $5 donation. Do you think the new horde mechanics are going to be adapted for the Beastmen/Chaos in the future? Like Pirate Coves, where a blueprint for scaling under cities? Yeah, totally. I feel very strongly that the Beastmen and Warriors of Chaos will get a full update. Like a full free LC update. Eventually. Might not be till Game 3, but eventually. Who are the new Wood Elves that live on the new Mortal Empires map? I think it's the Laralorn Elves, because they said they're in the Empire. They explicitly said they're in the Empire, so it has to be the Laralorn Elves, who are just outside of Nordland, Midland. They're in like the northern forest up by Salzenmund. So maybe it's a province now. And I think the new greenskins they were talking about, I think that's the Black Pit, which are the spider goblins that live in the forest north of Altdorf. World root system? That would be awesome for Wood Elves. Wood Elves! Ooh, dude. I honestly think Wood Elves have the worst campaign in the game. I think Wood Elves are awful. One of Wolfheart's heroes is a Waste Stalker from Laralorn. No. She's from Athel Loren. And when you read the text, it says Avalorn, which Avalorn is in Ulthuan. That's a misprint. But she's from Widrioth. She was born in Widrioth, which is in Athel Loren. Kalara, yeah, she's from Athel Loren. Grimgor, I think Grimgor's start position is okay. It would be fun to have Grimgor in the Darklands, but you can really put Grimgor anywhere you want. I think Azhag needs to go up to Karak Ungor. They better fucking move Azhag or I'm gonna, like, hurt myself. Alright, who's the Norskin guy that was offered the Everchosen but instead rejected the Chaos Gods? Oh gosh, that was the... What was his name? What's wrong with Sotek's gaming computer? I don't know. They told me... So, for my computer, they told me that... they told me my memory card, my RAM, and my SSD were broken. So I went there today, and I bought totally brand new ones. Yeah, Mortkin. Thank you, Lord Mortkin. And then I gave them my new RAM and my new SSD. They installed it, and they turned on. They were like, oh shit, your computer like isn't recognizing the new RAM. Like, it just wouldn't acknowledge it was there. So it could be that my motherboard is broken. So if my motherboard's broken, then I'll have to buy I'll put it this way. My computer's been having such bad issues that over the last few days, I have bought a brand new power supply that was much larger than my old one. Brand new RAM, brand new SSD, and I think that's where I'm at the moment. But it's looking like my motherboard may be the problem, so I'll have to get a brand new motherboard, which is going to suck. The good news is, though, Creative Assembly did send me a very nice gift. Creative Assembly sent me a box that had an i9 core processor in it, so like a really, really nice processor for some... it was for like the 3K Dynasty mode or something, but my old motherboard isn't good enough to handle it. So if I have to replace my motherboard, although it's going to be very expensive and I'm going to cry because I have to pay my health insurance in a few days, I'll survive. And but I could get a better motherboard so I could install that i9 processor instead of the i7 that I have in my current PC. Well, if for the Empire campaign, they want you to do, like, OG Empire, then it's actually, there's 14 provinces. There's the Wasteland, aka Marienburg, Nordland, Middenland, Ostland, Hochland, Reichland, Talabecland, Sturland, Averland, Solland, Wisenland, Sylvania, Ostermark, and the Dreckwald. No, yeah, I have really high AC. So, my AC, and I have fans in here. So, no, it's not the heat. How old was the other stuff? I built my PC less than 2 years ago. Brand new, except the power supply. The power supply was an old one. But, everything else was brand new. So, I'm reading 13 straight out of the blog. Well, if they're dumb then. Either they can't count, because there should be 14. There were originally 14 provinces. Either that, or they're just not letting you get the Dreckwald, which would be dumb. Because if they're putting the Black Pit and Laralorn Forest in the game, it sounds like the Dreckwald will be in the game. How is the Amber currency incorporated in the lore? It's not. They pulled Amber totally out of their butts, and it's a terrible mechanic. Terrible. I feel like the Wood Elf campaign needs a complete rework from the ground up. So the Laralorn are technically not Azrai? No, they still are. Laralorn elves are a split off of Athelloran elves, but they are Wood Elves. They're just cousins. So like they were connected to Athelloran through the world roots, and they were like fully connected, and then the Beastmen caused a ton of problems for the Laralorn elves, and they kind of got disconnected. So the Laralorn elves have developed differently, and they have like more friendly relations with men than the Athelloran elves do, but they're still Wood Elves. No, Louis, the Wasteland and the Reichland are totally different places. So it could be that they just forgot to include Reichland on the list, but I don't know. Do they have forest spirits? Yes. Not... So, Laralorn Forest has forest spirits, but they do not come from Laralorn. They came from Athelloran. They're Eilnir, not Azrai. They might have changed. They might have changed their name in Elven. Originally, I think they were like wiped out by the Beastmen. I think in 7th edition, the Laralorn elves were completely exterminated. But when 8th edition showed up, 8th edition was like, JK, the Laralorn elves are still alive. So there's been kind of some weird shit there. Has there been gameplay? No. The new DLC doesn't come out for another 2 weeks. So for those people who want to see early access, that probably won't come out for like a week. Roughly. So Laralorn has embassies and ambassadors? Probably. Are the forest spirits nicer there? Are they nasty / borderline evil? They're pretty nasty. If you want to read a story that has Laralorn in it, you can read the Black Plague trilogy. And the Laralorn elves assist the Empire during the Black Plague against the Skaven, but it comes at a pretty crazy cost. And they are very scary. The Laralorn elves are not nice. Are there forest? No. There are only forest spirits in Athelloran. Forest spirits only exist in Athelloran. Anything outside of Athelloran are either forest spirits that wandered there, or they are not true forest spirits. Because forest spirits were creatures that were created by the old ones as an experiment, and they were only in Athelloran. Even the ones in Avalorn weren't born there; they went there. All forest spirits come from Athelloran. There has never been a forest spirit born anywhere else on the planet, according to 8th edition. 8th edition retconned that really hard. All right, so I think we're pretty good. Yeah, it's kind of late. I think what we're going to go ahead and do is watch through the trailer again, just for shits and giggles, and have fun. And I'll answer any like super big questions remaining, and that'll be it. So let's watch the trailer one more time. And just a reminder to anybody that maybe just joined us, if you go into the description below the stream, you can find this link right here, www.fanatical.com/ref=lsotec. Go to this link and you can purchase the DLC for 15% off. And you'll save some money. I'll make some money. It's a way to help support the channel. So let's watch this trailer one last time, and then we will answer a few more questions and be done. See if I catch anything I missed last time.
I'm going as fast as I can! We close the operating temple now! We're not elevating it!
What's taking them so long?
Have a little faith.
That's a very fun trailer. Very, very fun. Fox and Socks, thanks again for the $2 donation. Thanks for a great stream, man. Take it easy. Appreciate it. Lustria Drift. I do genuinely enjoy the Jurassic Park reference. How does Grimgor stack up to Gorok or Nakai? Grimgor is to offense what Gorok is to defense, so if the two of them fought, it would be a very long fight. But I feel pretty confident that I think Gorok would lose to Grimgor eventually. I don't think Gorok has the armor piercing he would need to take down Grimgor. As for Nakai, that'd be a pretty even fight. That'd be a very even fight. What is that magical aura around the Empire Lord? That was probably Marcus Wolfhard about to use his Amber Bow. So his bow, which is called the Amber Bow, was specifically crafted and enchanted by the Amber College, which is the lore of beasts. So like the college in the Empire about that. They crafted it so that it's specifically designed to tilt in the air and hit monsters and their weak points to kill them. So it's a magically enchanted bow that's designed to kill monsters. Yeah, the skink at the beginning of the trailer is fucking hilarious. I love how he's just minding his own business and he's like, what the hell? Do you think Wolfhard is going to be too hot in those furs? Absolutely, yes. I think Wolfhard would be dying in that weather wearing those furs. But he has to look true to his model or else people would get upset. The green handgunners are Hochland long rifles? Maybe. That might be one of the regiments you can pick up if you take over Hochland. I'm convinced Gordrak is a reincarnated Grimgor. He functionally is, Mogwai. I don't know if you know this, Mogwai man, but Gordrak's weapons, his twin axes, those are Grimgor's axe. When the world exploded, somehow Grimgor's axe survived, and it split down the... So it was a double-headed axe, and it split down the middle, and that's what Gordrak wields. Is those... He wields Grimgor's weapons split in half, but he wields it as a two-handed... Or, like, twin weapons instead. Our Hochland long rifles are, like, the best rifles invented by the Empire. And it looks like they might be one of the... units you can get for taking over Hochland. All right, guys. That's going to be it for me. Does the blue stink give you hope for an army painter? So Zachary, I will put it this way. I will bet anyone. I will bet any of you, as many of you as you want. I will bet you sitting right there, I will bet you $100. Legit. I will literally give you $100 if after game 3, at the end of Warhammer, once all the races have been put in the game, I bet you $100 they will put an army painter in the game. Legit. 100% being serious. They're going to do it. I feel very strongly they're going to do it. I just don't think they're going to do it until they've already put everything in the game. Because otherwise they'd have to patch and update it, and that would potentially break it, and it would just be a waste of time. A rainbow steam tank. Alright, guys. Well, that's going to be it for today. Well, will we have it now? No. We're not going to see it till the end, because it would just be a lot of work. That's going to be it for tonight, guys. I was going to paint, but it's already 11:30. I ended up talking a lot more than I meant to, and my throat hurts. So I'm going to go ahead and go to bed and get up tomorrow and go. I have to go back to the computer workshop tomorrow to check in on my PC and see what the problem is. So thank you all for coming by. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm going to go ahead and open up. I'm not going to do it on here. I'm going to do it on my phone. That way y'all can't see it. I almost made... Actually, you know what? I am going to do it on here, but I'm going to throw up a screen blocker. That way y'all can't see my password. But I'm going to open up a link real quick to let me see everyone who donated tonight so that I can throw out some special thank yous. Because there were a ton of donations tonight. Which I'm very, very humbled and appreciative of. I know I have a very hard time expressing myself emotionally when I'm like grateful. It's just like a really bad habit that I learned when I was a musician, because back in my days of being a musician, if someone complimented you and you were like, "Oh yeah, thank you," like if you weren't like, "Oh, it was okay," you know, if you like just accepted it, you were kind of just seen as a dick. So it's a bad habit. All right, so special thank you tonight to Matthew, Fear, Lord Wench, Adam Belin, Changer of Ways, Rolana, Jason Dean, Anthony Strickling, Fewer, Fox and Socks, and I think that's everybody. So yeah, thank you all a ton for watching. I hope you guys had fun. I hope you learned something. I will make sure that this goes up immediately on the channel so everybody can watch it and check out the live reaction and all that other crap. And yeah, I know I'm the one who got throat punched because I ended up talking until my throat hurt. So thank you all very, very much for coming by. I will see y'all tomorrow. If my computer is still broken, then we will do a painting stream tomorrow, and we'll paint some more Glaive Wraith Stalkers and talk about the DLC and everything. If the computer is fixed, then we'll have like normal content. So thanks again for watching, everybody. See you tomorrow. Have a good night. Bye.